Hey everyone, I've got about 12 minutes before I have to get back. I'm on my first 15 right now, but first 15-minute break that is. But I thought I'd take this opportunity to talk about basically the episode Power Inside of Her. Now, everybody has decreed that as basically the Dark April saga, which is true. I mean, we finally saw April be corrupted by the crystal that she was given while they were in space. Now, just because she got corrupted by it and basically seemed to break away from it and thus break the crystal and free herself, use the power that she was, the ability to, basically she was able to use what was left over, to restore Donatello and stuff like that. I honestly can say that this is not the end of the Dark April deal. I can honestly say that. Here's why. You think, honestly, Nickelodeon's just going to make this a one and done deal? You're wrong. You're wrong. I mean, yes, one of the things that was a result of her being merged with this creature or this being was she's now has better control of her powers, but here's the thing, if that's the result of her being merged with this creature, having this crystal influence her and corrupt her, this whatever the name was of this individual, do what it did, then it tells me there's more to this. Like, why would the aliens that want to, out of gratitude, give her this crystal, why would they do it without explaining to her what was inside the crystal, what the crystal contained? And in my opinion, I think honestly we're going to get our answers within the next season. I still stand by the fact that we're going to get more of the Dark April saga. Maybe I was wrong about them holding off until next season, but I think we're going to get more of the Dark April deal down the line. I really do, because I think, maybe it's just me, but I believe if she's hinting at the fact that she can now better control her powers, if she can be able to use her powers to put Donatello back together, because all she did was basically break him apart into micro bits, a la kind of what happened to that kid in the original Willy Wonka movie, like Andre used for example, then there's no doubt we haven't seen the last of this. I mean, I honestly think there's going to be more to this whole, April situation. Now she's better able to control her powers and all that, and I guess have a better understanding of them. But I think there's more to it. For some people that didn't read the Phoenix Saga when it was originally printed and then watched the animated adaptation, I'm pretty sure a lot of you thought, well, that's the end of the Phoenix. That's the end of Jean Grey. She's gone from the show, right? Wrong. She was still in the intro, so that kind of told you she was still around. And thus you had the Dark Phoenix Saga that followed up. And again, for those that never read the comics, or read the follow-up, which was the Dark Phoenix Saga, the original one, nobody would have known that was going to happen, but yet it did. It did happen. It happened as a follow-up and a sequel, and in some versions, it brought Jean Grey back to life, brought her back, restored her, basically, cured her from the corruption and all that, helped the Phoenix be uncorrupted and, be free from being corrupted and stuff like that. Other incarnations had her die, had her sacrifice, have her become an enemy. I mean, there was different incarnations, but there was always a continuation from the last one. Always a continuation from the original starting point. And to me, that's exactly what this is. This power inside of her is just a starting point to more of this whole Dark April situation to come. It is a starting point. It is just the beginning of something a lot bigger. I don't know, when or where within the next season or so it's going to happen, but honestly, you think just destroying a character, slicing them up, breaking the crystal and all that, as powerful as this one was, is going to do it? Maybe. But I think even though that being has been, even though April destroyed the being that was controlling her, even though she shattered the crystal that was corrupting her, something tells me there's a lot more to this than we can expect. And I don't think we've seen the end of it. I don't think we've seen the last of possibly a Dark April. I think it's just the beginning. And I think I believe down the line we're going to get a hint, maybe towards this season, maybe next season, but we're going to get something that's going to imply that there's still a bit of that power from the crystal and from that being that was in that crystal that was controlling April and corrupting her. There's still a bit of that power and still a bit of that essence still left inside April. That basically there could be a slight chance that creature could come back. That power could come back. That creature, what's left of it inside of April, and the power that's left inside of April, could resurge itself, could be resurrected, if you will, and could re-corrupt her. And I know, honestly, even though I don't watch the show, I know honestly I'm not the only one that believes that sees that happening. Because when one thinks about it, you can't just have a one and done thing with April. I mean, yes, every show every animated show that's had a female lead, mostly female, no offense, but let's be honest, mostly has been female, no offense. Every female lead or sub-lead or sub-minor character or, co-character, whatever, every major or minor female lead, with no offense, okay, has always been possessed or corrupted for an episode or two before they've been restored. We've always had those possession episodes. So to me, it's not surprising that they did this one with April, but also I'm not going to be surprised if we see it happen again. Like I believe Nickelodeon is looking, the way Nickelodeon does things, this to me is just the beginning. This is just the starting point of more of that Dark April story that we're going to get. I think this is just the jumping off point. This is the starting point. And again, they might play off the fact that she might still have a bit, because she's had the crystal for so long, long enough, that this still might be a chance that crystal's power and a bit of the essence of the being, the evil being, I can't pronounce the name of the being that was entombed in the crystal or trapped in the crystal, that this still might be a part. There might still be some of the essence of said creature, a being, I should say, as well as some of the power of said crystal inside of her that could cause her to be re-corrupted. Like there could be a tiny bit of the essence left. And we've seen that before. We've seen episodes where that's been followed up on, where you think, okay, the evil being that could possess people is gone, but yet there's always still that one part of it, that one bit of the essence that remains. So, and that could still re-emerge and re-corrupt that same individual. Same with them probably still having a bit of the power left within them. So I wouldn't be surprised if not before the season's out, or mostly in the next season, we might get an episode indicating that, and we might even get an episode maybe, where Splinter will be like, like let's say the Turtles are going to go on a mission, and Casey's going with them, and April, she's about to go with them, and Splinter, he gets right in front of her, and he's like, you ain't going nowhere. And I could see that being the starting episode, maybe that hints at the fact that there still could be something there, because Splinter could be like, look, you're fully trained in everything as a ninja, April, but because you got easily corrupted, you're not ready to go back out just yet. We need to make sure you're completely cured of whatever was in that crystal. Make sure there's nothing inside of you and all that. So I won't be surprised either by in this season, before this season's out or next season, we see maybe an episode like that where that kind of becomes the, you know, the hint at the fact that there could be more to what we had, to what we saw in power inside of her. Like the power inside of her, I believe, could be the starting point. And either before this season's out or next season, we'll see just the beginning, the next stages in that whole Dark April situation. Like I said, you could still have a bit of the essence of the being, of the evil being that was possessing and corrupting April, still inside of April, along with some of the power. So I think we're gonna get more. I think honestly they're gonna delve more into it, dive more into it, and we're gonna find out more down the line. Within probably, we're gonna get a hint of more to come, I guarantee, before this season's out or going into next season. So that's really what I think. I think there's more to this whole Dark April thing, and I think power inside of her was just a starting point. So let me know what you guys think down below. Comment if you like. What do you think could happen? Do you think there's more? Do you think power inside of her was just the beginning of something more with a Dark April? Or do you think power inside of her was it? Let me know what you guys think down below. Comment if you like. Let me know what you think of my thoughts on it. Which parts do you think could be happening? Or do you think, again, do you think power inside of her was it? Let me know down below, and I'll talk to you all later.